Today's video is going to be about this robot vacuum that I just got. This is the ECOVACS T80. Okay, let's try that again. Once again, this is the ECOVACS T80. It's a 2-in-1 robot and mopping robot. And if you saw just now, I have a large golden retriever, sheds a lot of hair. I have dark hardwood floors, and those two do not really go together very well at all. And if you are in my situation, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So normally I'm outside in the yard doing reviews on outdoor power equipment, but today we're gonna be talking about this product right here and why I like it. So right now, it's actually done mopping, and it's cleaning its roller and is doing a heated drying cycle on the roller. So I've been using this now for about 6 weeks. I really like it. So let me tell you about some of the features. So starting off with setup. Setup was really easy with this. Unboxing it, everything was pretty much already assembled. All you had to do is put your tanks in the base here and then plug the base in, charge your robot up, and while you're doing that, you go ahead and you start setting up your account. So you're gonna wanna download the ECOVACS app. You're gonna use the QR code that comes in the instructions to go ahead and do that, set up your account, and then once your robot is fully charged, what you wanna do is you wanna set it up to go ahead and scan the entire perimeter of the house so it can learn each room. It will actually automatically separate each room all by itself and then ask you, does this look appropriate? Does this look like the proper layout? You're going to confirm that. You can divide the rooms up by sections if you'd like to do that, so it can actually set it to clean certain rooms at certain times and not do everything all at once. Maybe you have a few areas of the house that get a little bit more foot traffic than the rest of the house. You can set up the vacuum to clean those areas more often than other parts of the house. But I thought that was really intuitive by ECOVACS. I've never used a vacuum that does a kind of a segmented layout like that, so I thought that was really cool. But essentially, once you've got the house mapped, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to follow the robot. You don't have to really intervene at all. It'll learn the house all by itself. It'll return itself back to the charging station. And essentially, once you've done that, you're ready to start cleaning. So now getting a closer look here at the vacuum itself. Up here you have the battery compartment. You also have the chamber where it collects the dust and of course gets ejected into the base. But you make sure you've got your Wi-Fi connected here, which is included in the setup. And then also you have your QR code here that you're going to want to have handy whenever you're ready to set your vacuum up. My initial concern with having a unit like this, I'll kind of get to some details on all of this up here, but I was worried that this was going to be a very bulky, kind of gaudy type of thing here right in the middle of the living room. And it's anything but that. It's actually a pretty compact size. It's, aesthetically, I think they did really well with this design. And it really doesn't take up a whole lot of space. It's really not that noticeable, especially after a couple of days of having it in your home. But right out of the gate, we'll go straight from top to bottom. You have your tank here for your cleaning solution. And then you also have your reservoir. So as you can see, there's some dirty water in here that the mop has a function in here where it will clean the roller. It will take all of that dirty water and it will put it into this tank. Now you want to make sure that you dump this out every time you use it. If you forget, I promise you it's going to smell terrible and you're going to thank me later. Now right below the chambers, you have that's the vacuum bag. So you don't have to empty this each time it works. It will dock itself and it will empty all of the debris from the vacuum right into this bag, and then you'll just take this out and then empty that right into the trash can. Mine's not totally full yet, so I'm gonna let it be, but I really like that feature because sometimes if you're running these vacuums and you forget to empty that and the vacuum is trying to suck up everything that's on the floor and your compartment is completely full of debris, you're not picking anything up. But because it does it itself, this takes one more step out of that process. Now, one thing you'll notice about this vacuum is there are a ton of sensors on this thing. It has a sensor right here in the front that it uses to navigate around the house, and it does this all by itself, which I was really impressed with. A lot of the vacuums that I've had in the past really weren't as smart as this one. It doesn't necessarily bump into things as much as maybe some of the older models do. On robot vacuums, this one has a tendency to avoid obstacles and walls much better than any other vacuum I've had. As you can see, there's really no bump marks or any like wear and tear really on any parts of the front of this vacuum, because it doesn't really use this bumper really as a sensor as much as it does for the sensors here that are inside the vacuum. It's their smart sense feature that allows it to do that. And you can see on the sides, we have some more sensors here on both sides of the vacuum. And then of course, on the back side as well, these are your charging contacts. When the vacuum backs up into the dock, it's going to use those two contact points to charge itself up. This is the access port for the vacuum to suck out the debris. As you can see, since mine literally just did that, it's got a little bit of dirt on there, but at least you know it's doing its job. So all in all, this vacuum is a little bit heavier than some of the other ones I've used in the past, which is kind of a testament to quality, but I really like how it's performed for me so far, and especially as far as maintenance, how easy it is to maintain this vacuum, because you're going to want to do that about every 30 hours or so. When you're ready to start using the vacuum, you're just going to use the app to choose which setting you'd like to use. I like the vacuum and mop combination setting. You can just do a simple vacuum setting, or you can just have it do a mop setting independently, but I always run it on the vacuum and mop at the same time. It tends to do pretty well for me. As you can see, it's really going in a nice straight line here and going back and forth through lines. This is because the robot understands where all of my furniture is, where the walls and perimeters are, and I've broken up each room independently. So I can clean specific rooms if I want to. If I only want to clean the kitchen and the living room because those are the high traffic areas, I can do that more often, or I can break it up to do the entire house at one time. It's really up to you. And if you want to do that too, you can put it on a schedule and it will clean, let's say at night, or if you're at work, you can have this clean for you while you're gone. But one of the other things I noticed that kind of stood out to me too is its ability to work around chair legs. I know this is a big challenge for a lot of robots because they tend to bump into things and back up and they don't clean those areas, but it goes around chair legs pretty well, and it gets up around perimeters really tight, as you can see here against my couch. That's called their True Edge technology, and that gets things really clean up close, especially when we're transitioning into carpeted areas. When it transitions to carpet, it just picks up the mop. It's not going to mop any carpeted areas. It automatically knows when it's on a rug or in a carpeted room. And those things really stood out to me as really great features. And honestly, I was expecting it to at least fail in some of these categories, but it really hasn't let me down yet. So I really like the smart mapping features of this. It makes it really easy and takes a lot of guesswork out of the robot understanding where it needs to clean. The OZMO Roller, how it self-washes, I like that it will go through each zone in the house, go back and wash itself, and start a new zone with a clean roller. And the True Edge cleaning with the roller mop on this, I think, is probably a better option than the ones I've seen that have the dual discs. From the reviews I've seen, those tend to not clean as well, while the roller does a lot better job. And it's actually pretty quiet. I don't really notice it that much, especially at night if it's cleaning. We don't really hear it all that much, so it's nice to wake up to a nice clean floor, which is fantastic. And also the vacuum operates at a pretty impressive 18,000 pascals is how it's measured. The typical robot vacuum that you're going to see is somewhere in the realm of about 6,000 to 10,000 pascals, where this one is 18,000. And here is the really big benefit for us that have the dark hardwood floors is the finish after it's done mopping. As you can see, the solution dries super fast, so you get a really nice finish on these clean floors. Now you can see back here, that is where the chamber sucks up all of the dirty water. So as it cleans the roller and the water lands right here on this tray, it's going to pump it up into this chamber up here. So you're always getting all of that dirty water that falls down. It's going to suck that up into the chamber that you're going to eventually dump out into the sink or your toilet. Now, as far as maintenance is concerned, As I mentioned earlier, about every 30 hours, the app is going to remind you that you need to go ahead and do some general maintenance. So really, right off the bat, you want to just kind of wipe down all of these sensors. Make sure there's no dust or hair and debris on that that's going to cause the robot to malfunction in any way as far as its ability to be able to see where it's going. You've got some sensors here at the bottom too. But the big thing that you want to do in order to keep the house clean and make sure that you're cleaning with components that are not dirty or contaminated in any way is you want to take your roller out and make sure you don't have anything stuck in there. This is really easy to do. All you do is squeeze these tabs, pull this out, and the roller comes right out. And I did that with one hand. That's how easy it is. So you may have some hair and things that are caught up in this roller. That's no big deal. It's really easy to just pull this off and throw that right into the trash. But for the most part, this roller, I really haven't had any issues with a bunch of hair or anything kind of getting wrapped around. I'm not sure if that's by design, but so far I've been pretty lucky. So this will snap right back into place pretty easily. Go ahead and put your cover back on and you're good to go. Now cleaning the mop is very simple to do as well. In fact, there's some instruction on the side of the robot here that tells you exactly how to do it. Now, yes, the base does clean the mop all by itself. Really, it's designed to do that so you're not using dirty water throughout the entire house. So you're not relying on just this little roller to go to the dock, get some soap on it, clean the entire footprint of your house. Especially if you've got a bigger house, you're just spreading dirty water all over the place. So it does go back and it cleans itself off, gets some new solution. But as far as maintenance wise, you're gonna wanna clean the roller every once in a while to make sure that you're not using a dirty roller. So really what the instructions tell you to do is to push the power button, double tap, and it will pop out on the side just like that. And then you simply slide the roller out. There's a small tab here that you push with your finger and you pull the roller out, and you can go ahead and clean that in the sink if you want to. Let it dry out and you have a brand new roller. And while you're cleaning everything up too, it's a good idea to go ahead and remove this tray from the base. It just snaps out of here really easily. And you want to go ahead and clean this out too, because this is where all of your dirty mop water goes. And as I mentioned before, you want to go ahead and dump out all of that disgusting mop water. You rinse. And then I like to let everything just air dry, and then you're good to go. Putting your roller back on, just as simple as taking it off. You can see there's a little notch in here. You want to line it up with that pin so you kind of get a feel for it. Pop it back in, and you're ready to go.